this is something you can actually do at home because it doesn't require a lot of fancy equipment. And I just wanted to highlight the important things you need to consider when making a good cup of coffee. So you start off with really great coffee. That is your raw material. You can forget all the other items on the list if you don't have great coffee. So this is an Ethiopia Danchmeng. It's a natural processed coffee. I mentioned earlier in the interview that I liked fruit bombs, and this is one such coffee. So this is, yeah, pretty much a fruit bomb. So we grind everything before brewing. So if you ask me, the grinder is the most important piece of equipment you'll need. Your brewer can be anything, really, but your grinder is very important. But let's take a look at the brewer first. So this is a dripper. It's a very basic setup. It looks like your house coffee maker, only it's a more manual process. So this one comes with a paper filter. So these are filters you can just find anywhere in the supermarket. And what we'll do first is we'll be preheating it just with hot water. It doesn't matter what the temperature is as long as it's hot. So preheating your paper filter allows you to wet it and wash out the paper taste, but also give you thermal stability. So you're preheating the drip cone and the cup as well. All right. Next, because I'm ready to brew, I'll be grinding the coffee. Grinding coffee using a burr grinder. It's important that you use a burr grinder because it doesn't have blades. It has burrs, which you can imagine two gears that are crushing beans to a certain consistency. And because they're gears that crush them, they end up being more consistent than blades that just randomly chop things whirling in the air. You can get a hand burr grinder. You can get an electric burr grinder. For brewed coffee, it makes a little difference. So here is the ground coffee. Usually this is the first part of the sensory experience where you just give it a whiff and enjoy the fragrance that fresh coffee gives you. So I'll be putting the ground coffee onto the top of the brewer. And now I will be preparing my hot water. So you don't want to use water that's boiling. It should be hot, but it should be what we call off the boil. The water is at 93 degrees. I'll start espresso. So right now I'm pouring just a little bit of water. This is called pre-infusion. Some people call it the bloom because it creates something like a cupcake on top of your coffee. It expands your slurry. This is an indicator that your coffee is fresh. Stale coffee will not rise up like this because all of the sugars and acids and aromatics are already mostly gone. But with fresh coffee, you're going to get that side every time. Right? So now I am just pouring in the rest of the water. So I am just trying to saturate the bed evenly by pouring in the middle, pouring at the sides, just trying to equally fill the brewer with water. After you pour, it's just a matter of waiting for it to draw down while managing your time. So your time, it shouldn't be too short because you get thin, watery coffee. It shouldn't be too long because you start extracting beyond what's desirable. So you get these bitter notes. So you should know what time works in relation to your grind. And there's your cup. So this Ethiopia Danchmeng was brewed using good beans, a proper grinder, the right temperature of water, a dripper you can find anywhere, and just attention to the technique that you do.